You want me to go live or you going to go live?
We're live, bro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new DC live stream. I'm your host, Matthew Patiri, here with my technical improficient co-host, Wasim Debussy. How are you, my friend?
I am not technically impressed. You told me to go live, and then I got a message saying go live.
I said, oh, look, when we're together, you know that I run the show, right? So you know that I'm pressing all the buttons. As soon as I press live, you can bring us back on. Hey, are you doing it? Am I doing it? Okay, we're here anyways, guys. We're here with today with you guys with a lot of news, a lot of updates, FTX updates, some new AI. We're going to talk about the market, of course, some amazing tweets. We just wrapped up one of the biggest weekends in our business. If you happen to have missed our workshop or / webinar on the weekend, you can grab the replay with the link below. So breakoutsolutions.com.au. Oh, somebody, there we go. Somebody.
I'm the technically improficient one.
I actually deleted that link so that stuff wouldn't happen. But now, see, some people are coming into my workspace and starting to move like the state.
Yeah,
they're moving the stapler, they're moving my microphone, and then when I come to work, it's all dismay. So, guys, if you want to see the replay of how you can make passive income utilizing digital assets, head to the website below, breakoutnow.co/passive-income-replay. It was longer than expected, but hey, if you want to improve your knowledge, increase your education, and make money in this market, you have to watch the event. It was absolutely amazing. We had lots of new members sign up after the event because we had an amazing special. So if you've been watching us for a while, maybe you're looking to get into crypto, maybe you're already in crypto, maybe you've been burned before, and you're looking to have mentors that have been there, done that, and made money in the space, come check out what we have to share in regards to the education. And if you like what you hear, feel free to book in with either Wasim or myself with the links in the webinar. We can have a chat with you, tell you the difference between the products that we have, how they can suit you, and how they can make you make money. That's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, that's it. And let's put that link up in the comment section. I'm going to copy that over now.
Oh, you're doing some clicking? Oh, watch out, guys. Watch out.
I'm actually going to do it right. I'm not going to blame others for stuff up.
All right. Without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the news with our first article. Wasim, take us away.
Big news today. Sam Bankman-Fried, or Sam Scam Banks to Fraud, as I call him, has finally been. All right, bro, you've got a lot of noise going on over there.
Yeah, your mic's not too flash.
My mic is not too flash.
There we go. That's a lot better. Whatever you just did then was a whole lot better.
Okay, let me move my mic over in front of me. Is that better now?
Oh my God, where has this been the whole time?
It's been sitting on the side. It usually works fine. All right, guys. So first up, breaking news. Scam bank run fraud has finally been arrested over in the Bahamas. So the New York Justice Department has filed criminal charges against him, sent it over to the Bahamas authorities, and they've arrested him, waiting for extradition over to the US. Now, funnily enough, this happened the day before he was supposed to testify in front of the financial committee or something in Congress. However, the good news is he is now charged. They've charged him with wire fraud, using customers' money, attempt to do wire fraud, a whole bunch of charges that are going against him. Let's see what happens out of this. Let's see if justice is served, and this after a very, very long time in jail. What are your thoughts on this, mate? How do you think the market's going to react?
Firstly, bad things happen to people. Sorry, bad things happen to bad people. So there you go. Second of all, how is the market going to react? Well, I'm sure we're going to cover it a little bit later because it's another news article, but I think that the market is still going to head lower. We had a little bit more FUD today with Binance. So once we get into that news article, maybe I can give you some more information, but I'm still looking at lower prices. If you missed my Bitcoin technical analysis video, jump on the Decrypting Crypto YouTube channel, check out yesterday's video, and I'll tell you exactly I told you exactly where I think the price will go, up or down. So you'll have to watch that to know, because we're not going to spend. I could talk about Bitcoin technical analysis for hours. And we've got better things to do, like talking about Sam Bankman-Fried going to jail. All right, next article. So this is something that myself and the team over the weekend, we went into it. We're supposed to be preparing for the webinar that we shared the replay with at the start of the call. And a lot of us, unfortunately, went into the rabbit hole for some time to talk about this new thing and to use the new ChatGPT. Or ChatPTG, what is it? ChatGPT.
ChatGPT from OpenAI.
ChatGPT. So basically, it's a completely new search engine, a bit like Siri, a bit like Google, and basically, it's going to revolutionize a lot of things. It's going to make us a whole lot lazier as humans. It's going to make your kids cheat at school. It's going to basically remove a lot of jobs currently out there that are huge for online marketplace, such as content writers. There's so much, but basically, this ChatGPT website, it's being used by more than 1 million people. So it took like Netflix, like over 7 or 11 months to get 1 million users. Facebook was over a year, something like that. So some of the world's biggest company had very slow adoption compared to what this ChatGPT has done. In the first 6 days, it got over 1 million users. I think today, Wasim said he was trying to use it. The website went down. They're probably overloaded. The system cannot function because so many people are intrigued about this new AI that is basically a super, like, it's like Google on steroids. Totally crazy. So Wasim, I can see you on the edge of your seat. You really want to talk about it, so I'll let you talk about it.
I mean, OpenAI have been around for a while now. They brought out a app called DALL-E. If you haven't played around with it yet, a lot of people are using these AI generated graphics now. And then about a week or so ago, they released the beta version, and I saw it all over Twitter. It's actually I actually initially found it really, really cool because it solves a lot of problems. You can just put in a question for it; it gives you the answer straight away. It's like 10 times better than Google. Like Matt said, you don't have to go through 1,000 links and read it. He actually gives you an answer in a human in a human language. However, this is a very, very scary time. So there we go. Matt is demonstrating it right now on screen. The reason why this is scary is because the way that AI works, it has self-learning, so it can be exponential in learning, and therefore it can, in no time, it can replace a lot of the jobs that humans do. It can replace jobs such as customer service, education, sales, copy, content creators. So it's going to be very, very scary a few years coming up to see where this AI goes and how far it takes, and how far it takes over many of the jobs. However, it is time for us to prepare for what's coming. This is unstoppable. It hasn't started yet, but this will start taking over a lot of the things that we are doing. So we need to make sure that we as humans are preparing for this and doing things like investing in the right assets to be able to get ahead of the curve. Because if they take over a lot of jobs and a lot of people lose their jobs, there could be things that are coming in like universal basic income, which is an income that everyone relies on the government to pay them. This is going to cause inflation. It's going to cause a lot of drastic things in the financial market. So for people right now who aren't watching or don't know what's going to happen, you need to be paying attention to this. This can actually change the way that we live as humans. and we need to be ahead of the curve. So going back to what Matt said, it's time for you to really get yourself educated on your financial future and start investing for the future. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself falling behind the eight ball.
Did you see my last question?
Do women find men who are bald more attractive? See, it doesn't always get it right.
It what?
It doesn't give opinions. It actually only gives facts. So that's the one thing about it. Yeah.
But guys, this thing is absolutely amazing. Like, look, just go to the website, sign up, have a play around with it, and your life will never be the same. When I was playing with this on Saturday, I obviously started. The first time I heard about was part of the team. I think you mentioned it, and then as soon as I kind of Googled it, it's like Gary Vee talks about ChatGPT, and basically all these people had the same thought that I had when I started playing around with this thing. After I played with this for about like 2-3 hours, then I started researching what other people are saying, and they're talking about like this is a step in history that we will like always remember. A bit like when electricity was created, the wheel, like big moments in history that have made life and human life a lot easier. Like this is like that next step. Like the last time something like this came out was like the iPhone, touch screen, visual stuff, like the iPhone. And before the iPhone, it was probably like, I don't know, Facebook or whichever one was first, like bringing people together. So guys, put this on your radar. This is going to be the future of. This is going to make a lot of people jobless. A lot of companies who find this are going to start, putting people to the curb because this thing is so powerful. Once people program and how they can actually just, program it to have conversations with, customers and stuff, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Alrighty, on to the last news article.
All right. So last article is US to reportedly charge Binance for new money laundering. So this has been happening since back in 2018. There's been a lot of talk about some of the Binance procedures, and now they're trying to see whether they can actually charge it. But the case is so vague that doesn't. I don't know. For me, this is just FUD, to be honest. I've been following for a while. He's been very, very transparent in what he does. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. So it's always important, as we always say, not your keys, not your crypto. Always store your crypto onto your own private wallet. But they seem to be going after CZ right now. But he does have a very strong defense. So we'll see what happens. It's interesting times. If Binance goes down, we're going to see some major downturn in the market. What's your opinion on this, Matt?
Yeah, look, I've always liked Binance. I feel like they've always been the most trustworthy. I don't see CZ throwing shade at FTX whilst he's been doing things incorrectly. That would seem really stupid. Like, why generate attention to your business if you know this is true? And to be honest, I believe that every exchange is going to have a microscope on them because of the FTX. So it doesn't surprise me that this stuff is now coming to fruition. If it is true, it's not true. I think every exchange is going to be under the microscope, and Binance being the biggest, it's good that they're the first, because to be honest, if the two biggest dominoes collapse this year, it's going to be very interesting to see where the space goes. I think there's going to be a larger push for DeFi because this centralized finance, no one can be trusted. So, this is stuff that we taught on the weekend at our webinar. Super important for you guys to start thinking about DeFi if you're not in the DeFi space. And that's all I got to say, really.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting times ahead.
All right. We've got our last one, which is investors not satisfied with Binance proof of reserves audit, next exchange to collapse. So we kind of just went over that. It seems like, now that you can see the proof of reserves on coinmarketcap.com, I think there's probably another website you recently shared with Sim, but basically we are seeing that, people are now going into these wallets, they're going to these exchanges, they're starting to, everyone online these days becomes their own self-detective. There's so many shows out there that you've probably seen, like there was that Stop effing with cats. That was really popular last year, where you had these online detectives basically unpack this video to find what's going on. And in the crypto sphere, when it comes to large funds of money, there's going to be some guy out there in front of his computer. That's all he does. And he's going to dive deep into every single company and look at every single wallet, et cetera, et cetera. Look at all these proof of reserves. They're going to do their due diligence. So if we do get a whistleblower, and what we spoke about in the previous article in regards to Binance, it could be true. So we've always said it: not your keys, not your crypto. So make sure that you're taking funds off exchanges if you are not an active trader. We can't stress this enough. Doesn't matter if it's your mum's exchange that she started up. Never keep your keys on an exchange. Sorry, never keep your crypto on an exchange. Take them offline. Put them in a ledger. Put them in a Trezor. Put them in something that can keep it safe. But we've warned you enough. Hopefully you listen to us one day or another.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Are we doing a market update?
No, we're ranting today. We've got to remove a few
got a lot of ranting today.
All right. The first tweet by Vitalik: conspiracy theory. People are going to live in pods because the evil authoritarian World Economic Forum will make us reality. People are living in pods because of a bad, ultra-restrictive housing regulation. And if we legalize building proper amounts of housing, they won't have to. So, yeah, I mean, what do you reckon?
Look, I think I think there's a lot of changes happening in the world with everything that's going on. WEF is really on a rampage at the moment to change a lot of things in their opinion for climate change, for making the world a fairer world. But at the end of the day, what he's saying is there's a combination of both. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist per se. What I have been finding, a lot of conspiracy theorists have been quite correct lately. So, what is he saying about about the restrictive housing regulations? I mean, in Australia, we are seeing more and more of this because we're seeing more dense population. Where I live is on the outskirts of Sydney, and these days you can't even buy a block of land for, over 300-400 square meters, and the houses are so tiny, and the houses take up the whole land because they're trying to cram so much housing in so little land. So I do agree that there is a bit of restrictive housing regulations around the world, but also agree that there is a big push for more and more people to live in smaller places.
This looks like a dorm room. This looks like one of the many hostels that I slept in when I was in my early 20s, traveling around the world. Like, you don't want to be living like this for the rest of your life unless you have to because of finances. But people want their own space. People want that sort of white picket fence lifestyle. And yeah, I guess if these guys aren't doing their job, we're going to see still a continuous discrepancy between the rich and the poor and the homeless and those with the roofs on their head. So watch out.
That's it.
All right, next one over to you, my friend.
All right. So this one is now that FBF is in custody, time to move on. But this is Will Clemente, while never forgetting he's not worth the time of day to get any more airtime or mental headspace from any of them. Good riddance. Not now time to let the justice system do its job. So obviously, Will Clemente is talking about what happened with SBF, which is what we spoke about earlier. It's trying to tell people now to move on. However, I think that the reality is many people are still stuck. A lot of people have lost a lot of money. A lot of people want to see justice. There's going to be a lot of news. I don't think this is over. I don't think people are going to forget. I think this case and him being arrested is going to be followed for quite a long time before people move on.
Yeah. I agree. Let's not waste any more of our time on this show with him as well. Moving on. All right, next one from Horizon Kinetics, observation 59 says the global rise of inflation is especially pronounced in non-OECD countries. A strong US dollar and rising energy prices are exacerbating existing pressures. So, yes.
Do you want to open that up? Do you want to open that? I actually don't think I looked at this, and I don't think these numbers are actually correct. They're quite deflated. I think the inflation around the world is a lot higher than that, especially in countries like Zimbabwe, Lebanon, Venezuela, Syria, Turkey. I know Turkey. Some of the things that we've seen off recently. Turkey had like 89%, 89 to 100% inflation. I know in Lebanon, like the US dollar was 4,000 lira. Now it's 40,000 lira. That's a 10x, and people are just struggling. People. I've got family over here who's just came over from Lebanon, and they are literally using wood to heat up water over there. So I think these numbers are a little bit deflated, but it's actually showing how bad it is in some of these developing countries where they are really, really struggling with all the inflation that's happening out there, and people don't have enough money. I mean, imagine waking up one day where you're making $1,000 a month, and that turns to $50 a month. Can you imagine that happens?
Yeah,
actually what happened.
I mean, to be honest, this is all from COVID, and this was one of the biggest reasons why I personally didn't think we should have gone into lockdown. And there's that, how much is our life worth topic, or argument comes up, and that's why we sort of had to go lockdown. But at the end of the day, I think that more people have come out of COVID worse, and are dying of other means because of starvation, can't feed your family, mental health, etc., just because we shut down the entire earth for 2 years. So this is what happens when we have stupid people at the top making stupid decisions.
That's right. And you can't take away the corruption. I mean, Lebanon, it was genuinely just corruption. The Lebanese government just stole 75 or 65 billion dollars of the people's money, laundered it to other countries and put it in Swiss banks, and now the banks have no money to give people money, and the Lebanese people are suffering.
Alrighty, mate, over to you. First, we're on the news still, and now we're into adoption. Go for it.
All right. So Bank of England now accepts proof of concept wallet application. So this is not good news, guys. This is, again, the push for CBDCs, which we spoke about, the dangers of CBDCs over and over and over again. This stuff is going to be a way for governments to control people. Now, the Bank of England now have approved a proof of concept for their wallet, for the wallet application. They've had a number of businesses such as Google, Consensus, MasterCard, and Spotify all came in for advice. They do now have a proof of concept for a wallet which people can trade and send their CBDCs between each other. So it looks like they're really pushing forward. Now, when they initially started this program, it was supposed to be just an idea, but now it looks like it's coming to fruition, and they are going to push CBDCs onto the people. And it's not the only country; many countries around the world are doing this.
Alrighty, next one we have Birth of a Network Nations. Ekmol had the wild idea, what if Africans across the globe could somehow, through collective action, create some kind of network that truly leveraged their power? What if they could act with their own agency out of reflection and choice? So basically, early in 2021, Emoli had read an online manifesto from Balaji Srinivasan, How to Start a New Country, which was later expanded into the book The Network State, How to Start a New Country. A heady mix of philosophy, Web3, history, politics, and galaxy brain ideas. So Srinivasan, that's a tough one to say, defines a network state as a highly aligned online community with the capacity for collective action that crowdfunds territory around the world and eventually gains diplomatic recognition from pre-existing states. So I guess there's people out there. I think even Akon, if you guys have heard of Akon the singer, I'm sure you have. He's talking about making an Akon city. Ecuador is making a gold city. There's a lot of places looking to find a bit of independence through cryptocurrencies. So this is really interesting. What are your thoughts?
Look, I had a look at this. The article is quite long, but I think the concept behind it is quite interesting, where you can create a geographically decentralized community online through Web3 that come together and become so strong that they have to be accepted by other states as a country online. It's quite an interesting concept, and I think if it does come to fruition, it can change the world that we're living in, because you're going to start having people with similar views, similar values, similar concepts, similar views on life coming together and becoming stronger, creating their own online countries, which have to be accepted by states around the world. I think it's an interesting concept. There's a lot of strange things in the news today. You know, we're talking about AI, we're talking about countries that are accepted in the real world. So yeah, definitely something for us to keep an eye on and see where it's going to come, where it's going to go.
All right, mate, over to you for the last article for the day.
Yeah. Okay. So we spoke about MoonPay a few weeks ago, guys, and we said that they were applying for they're applying for to be granted registration in the UK, and they've actually been approved registration, which is quite rare because 75% of applications to the FCA in the UK either get rejected or people pull out because most people do not make it or can't meet the strict regulation. So this is a great way for crypto because it's going to allow people to use cryptocurrencies to pay for things legally around the world, especially in the UK. And they've been approved. The company has actually been valued at $3.4 billion. In this registration. So this is a great way forward. Now we're going to have a registered way to pay, and MoonPay is actually moving forward with this. So great news on this, and let's see where it takes us from here.
Awesome. Alrighty, guys, that is it for another day of Decrypting Crypto news, Twitter highlights, and adoption. If you missed the start of the live stream, all you can do is rewind and watch us talk 26 minutes about cryptocurrency, the new chat AI that has blown my mind. But most importantly, we also talked about the webinar that we hosted on the weekend, how to create seven passive forms of income using digital assets and spending less than 10 minutes a day to maintain. So head to the website below, breakoutnow.co/passive-income-replay. Watch the seminar and the presentation by Michael. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us with the links provided in the seminar.
Let's just take a minute before we get off and just show some of the comments from people. I don't know who Brian Legend is, or someone saying, watch out, the next one is Brian Legend. I don't know what that one was about, but this one, being bored is the way. Thank you, Jay Winter. Thank you, JR. Definitely agree with JR. Being bored, I always say being bored is the new black. We've got Irish saying inflation in the Philippines is now at 8%, making the country's highest inflation in 14 years. Absolutely crazy. She goes on to say what happened in Lebanon makes her so furious. Thank you, Irish. I know it's crazy what's happening over there. Alan is thanking us both. Alan, peace out to you, my man. I'd love to have a chat with you soon, see what you're up to. I hope things are going better for you. And lastly, guys, I have put the link in the comments for the passive income workshop replay. If it doesn't come up on whatever platform you're on, because we are running on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and other platforms, head over to our YouTube channel and the comment will be there. Click on that, get the replay, and we'd love to see you in our community. Start working now to build a financial future for yourself that is going to be everything that you dreamed of, and start in 2023.
Perfect. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you. Make sure you leave us a like, you subscribe, and you turn on all notifications so you can see each of our videos Monday to Sunday. That's it from us, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Peace out. And as always, stay crypto.